Winspiration, the way to the essential. On UK Health Radio, Winspiration brings wisdom and information for an extraordinary future. Together, we can shape the world we want to live in. So let's get real and create the idea. Be extraordinary. Welcome to another episode of Winspiration Radio. And as we always say, you get information and wisdom for an extraordinary future. Information, wisdom, maybe it's easy to understand, but what is extraordinary? What is really an extraordinary future? And somehow an extraordinary future is something what we can't think yet really. At least it's out of the ordinary. And we like to talk and hear and bring ideas and encourage to see a world beyond the world you know so far, what you can see so far. Because as we all know, we only can see what our paradigms allow us to see. So if we can change paradigms, we can see a different world. But paradigm is maybe still something on the service level. So we want to talk today, and I like to reflect with you something what we call core belief. It is really the kind of ground beliefs, fundamental assumption. So a fundamental assumption is maybe something what you not really consciously see, but it is the fundamental ground belief, and everything what you do, how you act, everything is built on it. The very simple thing is the earth is flat. So this gives us idea. We don't need to think about it. We're just born into it, but we will not build a ship which can go around the world because we don't believe it is like this. Maybe with the flat earth, everybody knows somehow it. But you don't think in everyday life about it. Should I challenge this ground belief? So what is your core belief? As you know, I consulted a lot of entrepreneurs, really leaders in the business industry. And that is part of my start, finding out what is a core belief. Because it's simple said, if you have the core belief, all the humans, all the employees are lazy. They don't really want to work. They're only there to get paid that they can pay bills. Then you create a system where you control them, maybe force them, and you always think, I need to be careful. Maybe they steal, at least they steal maybe time. Another entrepreneur maybe have the fundamental ground belief, and I love people, and I know the real human being, if it's okay with him, and like any plant, if the surround, the environment, if this is okay, they will blossom. Like any plants, if everything in the environment is okay, will anyway grow to the sun. You don't need to force a plant. You don't need to force a child to be curious and do something. Okay, just imagine these two want to merge the two enterprises. So maybe intellectually they can calculate, is it cheaper to come through, where we can save money. But we know with this ground belief, if they're not talking about it, it's just a question of time. The two cultures will clash, and it will cost more than they ever expected. It will not work. And you see it in private relationships, if they are not really clear about the ground beliefs and the value system, that is the same in business. So now business. We just had the 7th of May, 2023, and we had an event in Berlin, and the team from the awareness company and the Winspiration team, we created something what we felt that was, wow, for us as a personalities and personal development, we created something. We said, wow, we really reached a level that everything what we did in the past with these products and everything, whoa, is not really keeping up with this level which we personally reached. So we are sitting together and said, what is the next, or maybe the next service we want to bring in the world? How do we do an impact in the world? What should be the product be? And we are not going directly in products and possibilities and how to make money. We are not going directly in the planning. We are at a level now that we say we need to challenge first and be clear about our core beliefs. Because logically, I grew up and was told how things are. But I learned, things are a lot different. I didn't learn in school and even in university, I didn't learn really how to make a great quality, high-level life. I, the individual, was not part of the education. That was not really in the focus. I didn't learn in school how my body is really functioning. How do I breathe right, eat right, and all those things? How do I stay healthy? And that's the system we have at the moment. Like also I studied law. It was just always, there were two people fighting. We have a so-called sickness industry. Because if you study medicine, if you look at the health insurance and everything is focused on the shit happened already. You get no money from the health insurance. It says, I don't want to get sick. Do you finance all my preparations, all my preventions? They say no. We want you to be sick first. So when we want to really create an extraordinary future, a different future, that it could be, everything is focused on not going sick, not going in the fight first. So that's just simple that we need to challenge our beliefs, our ideas, how we work. What is the most important thing? And here we come really to, and we are challenging us, and maybe I give you just ideas for reflection or maybe even challenge you. And I will talk about an example where I see that people see a lot of things wrong is when they talk about Elon Musk, for example, they easily talk about this guy as a visionary. And I say, no, he's not really a visionary. He has just a different core belief. And this is what I want to explain. What is the core belief? The core belief, like I said, is what you build. So with all the idea, and Elon Musk even says also we need to be careful with artificial intelligence, that we handle it right, or we handle the artificial intelligence, or is he robots handling us? So everybody is a little bit afraid. Huh? Wow, it can be. But why are they afraid? First of all, because we on the duality level, what I think and do might do the other person as well. So we think the artificial intelligence will act like we stupid humans who fight each other. But what if artificial intelligence is so intelligent that you say, I don't do what the stupid humans are doing. I don't want to fight. I want to create. So it is a possibility. But first of all, we think like that. And then what is intelligence? And what is consciousness? And this is always the question also. The artificial intelligence maybe comes to a level, and then out of the technical robots comes consciousness. And why? Because of the majority of science says out of the brain comes a consciousness. So all the old beliefs we have, we just put on the artificial intelligence. So we just have the ground belief, the fundamental assumptions, and put it over there. So, and here comes, in my case, the new one. It's not only me, I just learned it also from others and challenged. How do I want to see the world? And for our team, when we want to do new services, products, what will our ground belief be? Number one is not the brain is creating consciousness. Consciousness is creating the brain. Out of the consciousness, out of the invisible comes the visible, the material stuff. So seems normal, but most people don't think it like this. And Einstein, with the relativity theory, is still based on the what we call space-time dimensions. But this is obsolete if consciousness is fundamental. So if consciousness is fundamental, then everything comes from consciousness. And we are coming from consciousness and creating whenever, with incarnation and creating a body. And going this way. Now with the artificial intelligence, we create from the material something. And the question is, can then out of this come consciousness, intelligence in the way that they can calculate better, be faster, create in this way ideas or new melodies and new pictures, no poems? Yes, maybe. That's what we feel already. But consciousness? So at least one of our core beliefs is now we are consciousness and create the brain and create other things. So the artificial intelligence might not create consciousness, but consciousness could jump on artificial intelligence. And then, like Rupert Sheldrake, I asked him what he thinks about the artificial intelligence, good or bad. He always said it depends on the intention. And that is what really is all about. What is our intention, what we are creating? Some simply say, law of attraction, law of attraction, yeah. But it's a little bit on the surface, but deep inside it is about that. So if we believe then that consciousness is creating the material, then it's totally clear. I am not my body. I'm not my thoughts. I'm not my emotion. And if I am not my body, then I easily, and if I look at the history of development of humans, should and could believe that the way we look today, how humans are today, this is not the end of the evolution. Maybe the end of the very slow evolution. But if it would go on like this, slow like this, would we in the future look exactly like we do now? Maybe we don't have legs anymore because we have a different technique to hoover around. We don't need it. So I don't know. For sure I know it will not be the same. But now, if I'm consciousness and I see artificial intelligence and I see the human body I need to function here on planet Earth, maybe I start, and that is the core belief. The next question, we need to decide what you believe and I believe. We will merge with technology. We will merge with technology. Somehow we do it already. Some have pacemakers or whatever, pumps in the body and so on. Elon Musk is working on the chip for the brain. And some people who lost an arm have now a totally different technology arm where they can even live more than ever before. So we will do it. And maybe shoes. And that's just not only adjusting with like plastic surgery. No, it is really building and creating a new version. Did Elon Musk invented it? Is Elon Musk a visionary with that? No. We saw it in Hollywood, Terminators and everything. We saw much really ahead in visions in Hollywood or in books, in science fiction. So what we do today is just follow the ideas of someone else and make it a reality. So if I have this assumption, those are the first two. And you need to decide, is this fundamental? Because the moment I decided it's, for me, a fundamental thing that we will merge, I changed a lot of my paradigms, my beliefs, my blockages. No, I don't do surgeries and this and everything. Okay. I start to open up what is possible in the next 10, 20, 30, 40, 50 years. What is a modern science inventing? How I can be younger than ever, fitter than ever. So, check yourself. We make maybe the first break here that you can reflect that.
UK Health Radio, the station that makes you feel good. UK Health Radio, the station that makes you feel good.
So, how is it? Consciousness is creating the brain. Artificial intelligence might not create consciousness. Consciousness might jump on the technology, on the robots. And humans are not the end of the evolution. Humans will start to merge with technology. 3 fundamental beliefs. So how are you feeling with that? Okay, let's do 2 more. And I'm coming back to Elon Musk. A lot of people think he is a visionary because he thinks about flying to the Mars, building cities there, and people live there. Like I already said, we have a lot of films from Hollywood where we lived in the space, so that is not new, so we shouldn't call him a visionary. It is simply this, that he has a different core belief. He has a core belief that humans are not made to live just on planet Earth. Humans are there to live in the universe, to live in different galaxies, at least on different planets. So that is his simple ground belief, fundamental belief. And it's like I said, if you believe the Earth is flat, you don't build the ship for the planet we know today. If you believe we are only made to live on planet Earth, maybe it's okay that NASA builds a rocket to get some stones from the moon if we can use it here on planet Earth. But if you have the core belief, the fundamental belief that we are not supposed to live only on planet Earth, then it's so normal to think, what do we need to do to build a ship, to go around this ball Earth, or to build a ship, a spaceship, to go to other planets? What do we need to do to live on Mars. And then it's so simple to think, energy. We need energy. We can't take all the oil to the Mars. We need to have different energies. So what he is doing when he looks at solar and all those stuff, he is just solving the problems that he can fulfill what the Earthlings are supposed to do. And I wouldn't call this really a visionary. He is just doing it. And then you see also with Tesla, okay, we have the energy topic there, the electric. And by the way, challenge you with another core belief, maybe. Will energy be in the future more expensive, or will it be cheap or even cost nothing? I tell you, my core belief is really deeper belief is in the future, energy will cost us nothing. It will be cheaper and cheaper and cheaper. Because we will learn all the energy there to really have it like with solar energy, which is there enough. We will handle it different and make it all cheaper and available. Like when I grew up and we got the first telephone or the first TV, I couldn't imagine at that time that having something like WhatsApp, phone costs nothing, calls cost nothing, videos to speak costs nothing. When you see this on YouTube, it costs you nothing. Who could think that 50 years ago? Who did? Could, theoretically, yes, everybody. But we didn't, because we had different beliefs. So it's about changing the core beliefs and be aware of what kind of core beliefs you have, how the future will be, because that decides what you can think and what kind of service business you create. And with that, if you change it and you're one of the first, then you're always ahead of the game. So when we say we are not made for this planet, to live only on this planet, what kind of consequences could that have? The one is, like we see it with Elon Musk, he says, okay, I start to build the rockets. If nobody's doing it, I do it. How can we do it cheaper? How can we use it more often? And or how to build the rocket and which material we need, and so on. Oh, I can build the car company, but I'm looking for so much more. I'm not really in the car company business. I'm so much more in the artificial intelligence business because I want a self-driving car. Why should have everybody a car? What kind of world is that? You don't want to be that everybody's driving on the Mars. No, we just need a vehicle. So he creates something totally different, and he creates this artificial intelligence that the car can drive automatically. So Tesla has so much more than just the car. It's different thinking. So what does it mean for your business? How will this be in the future? What if the energy cost goes away, for example? What if the space opens up? Not only that you need a business for the space, but what would it mean for planet Earth? And here comes my core belief, and I wrote all the book, The Best Is Yet to Come. And there's a little scene from the Star Trek film. There's a bar somewhere in the space, and a lot of curious species are there at the bar, looking totally different, but they're just together at the bar. And having a kind of peace, at least in the bar. So if we as humans understand that we are made for living on different planets, if we as species, if we live as a family, we are living in one room, would we then start, if we have one room, we need to fight in this one room? I believe it's so much more possible for us to understand if we here in the same boat, in the same room, let's handle that here different. If we want to express ourselves different, if we want more wells or whatever, we don't need to fight at this room. We can go planets wherever. And like de Martini said, if you want to have world peace, you need to fight another planet, as long as we have the duality level. So it will help us with rising consciousness, with rising intelligence, that we have more peace on planet Earth. And with more peace and rising intelligence, we will not stick with the stupidity, looking at the health industry, only taking care of sickness when it's there. We will go more on prevention. Like I studied law and was only responsible when people are fighting, who gets the right, for whom I'm fighting, for what I'm fighting. Then we get the understanding, why am I fighting? What for? So it is not about in the future, when we open up for the whole universe, what means also we open up for abundance, that we are not limiting ourselves. We are not in the survival mood so much. Like I said, when I think about, I could merge with some technology, it is so much more about tuning myself and not just thinking about surviving. It's so much more about creating for the better. And creating for the better, this means more cooperation. Because I know exactly, I don't know everything. And you see the top companies, if you go to Google, if you go to Steve Jobs in his early days, or today with Tim Cook or whatever, if you go to Bezos, who started it, but what are they all doing? They collect brilliant minds and create a super team working together. And isn't it interesting if you go to Microsoft or those kind of big companies, Google, they have a CEO even from a different continent. So it's really totally different thinking, how we work together. The working style is different. Like Elon Musk says, if we have a meeting and someone in the meeting has the opinion he can't contribute, it's not okay that he leaves. He should leave. Why wasting time for himself and for the company? In the old world, no, you need to sit. So much more survival. And here we are in creation and looking for what is the best we can create. Okay, you can say now we can use our creation to dominate and play the win-lose game. But here comes the next ground belief maybe for you, what you believe. What you believe. If we open up for the whole space, for all the universe, for different galaxies, we are made to live totally different. We are made for abundance. Isn't it logic with more and more intelligence and with more consciousness and understanding from consciousness, we are coming and creating that it's not so much about survival, that it's really about creation. And therefore, it's about cooperation. So we will have different ways how to do also the political system, society system, so much more cooperation. Old Qaeda way thinking, top-down hierarchy, just as the old way, is gone. We will not get out of hierarchies, but we will have a totally different system of cooperation. And therefore, the best is yet to come. Because more and more we will go in the different mood, not just for survival and what is the best. And the more we are thinking what is of highest value for us, then we accept that win-win is better than win-lose or lose-lose. And it was really interesting also, I just watched a podcast about artificial intelligence and it says, okay, if we all think in highest interest, then everything will be better. And the moderator said then, but China's best interest might be different than Americans' best interest. On the first look, maybe yes. But if you pause a little bit and think, and really go deep into what is China's best interest, and who is China, and if we come to the conclusion, oh, they are humans, and if we agree that are humans, so what is the best, what is of highest value for the humans in China? And what is of the highest value for humans in the US? And if we just go really into it, then maybe it's so easy to see the highest value for both is cooperation. If you see what is the highest value for China, then you ideally have the idea and see kind of the map. You see the borders, and then maybe how to protect the borders, how to protect what there is. But as I said, I have already a core belief I will merge with technology. So I'm ready to open up, not that's only me, and I'm ready to think more abundance and not just in survival. So if we think what is the best for China, for the US, or wherever, in which country we are, what is the best for humanity? We include all people. So what is of highest value for all 8 billion people here? Let's make a short break.
UK Health Radio, the station that makes you feel good. UK Health Radio, the station that makes you feel good.
So we had these core beliefs. And I know if you just go on the intellectual level, oh yeah, it might be quite simple to go there. But really living it, or maybe already with the thoughts, I challenge you, or something is stressing you. Because I grew up also, here's me and you're there, I was China and this. But if you open up for the bigger thing, if you see the possibility, wow, the whole universe is there for me, why should I fight just on the little level, on the small edge? Why should I fight for $1 if I can have 100,000? At least the more intelligent or the more aware you are, you will not fight for $1 seeing losing 100,000. That is stupid, huh? And we're thinking of increasing intelligence. And more awareness or more consciousness will also help us to understand how we create more what is for highest value for us, highest interest. And this is anyway a very interesting question. In Berlin, we had our, before the Winspiration Day, we had a seminar. And for 2 days, this was kind of always the question. What are you preparing yourself? And like this, China, America, what is the interest? Ukraine, Russia, what is the interest? We are maybe only preparing, sending weapons and fighting and it, but we are not really working with full power on the highest value, highest interest. And that is what we need to learn and get in ourselves in so many ways and in so on different levels. Maybe you know about what they call this Eisenhower quadrant. It says it comes from Eisenhower in the 50s. He made 4 quadrants and says, okay, on the top is what is important. The 2 lower ones is not important. The left column is urgency, is urgent, and the right 2 are not urgent. So you have on the top left, important and urgent, top right, important but not urgent, down right, not important and not urgent, and on the lower left side, it's not important but urgent. Urgent like a phone call, whatever it is, something, just a noise. But we often react to urgency and not to importance. And I used in the past these, and also in coachings, I recommended every night, reflect on it. Reflect, how did I spend my time today? While working on crisis, how much I spent on urgencies, how much did I do was not urgent and not important, so how much did I waste my lifetime? And how much did I work on what is important, really, really important, but not urgent? This is a problem because from the past, for the evolution, for hundreds of years, thousands of years, we made our living maybe day by day. And it was tough for us that we should plan early our retirement, building wealth. It's not really in our genes. It's important, but not urgent. Saving money is important, but not urgent. And my feeling to buy this and have that feels more urgent, even if it's not important. And we're living now in a society where the urgency from emails, from WhatsApp messages and everything is growing and penetrating us so intense that we are more and more just living, reacting to this emotional stress. And if we are reacting from the outside to the outside, we are mainly not living what is really important for us. And that is, like I said, for us, the most important. And if you listen to those who spend years in hospice with dying people, what they most regret, what they didn't do, and it was, I didn't take care of quadrant 2, like we say in the upper right is quadrant 2. I didn't really take care of what is really, really important, not my true self. I reacted so much to urgencies. And that's what I did also. I learned something and studied, spent a lot of time with urgencies until I realized it's not important that on my gravestone it says he was always nice to urgency, but forgot the important stuff for himself. So we want to change that. And that for sure can create an extraordinary life, because very, very few are living daily with the question, if I eat this, is it of higher value for me? If I do this, is this of highest value for me? If I invest my time here, is it of highest value for me? If I invest or give away the money, is this of highest value for me? And therefore, I use these quadrant, the Eisenhower quadrant, now for everything. We realized, I learned it from Bart Goldman, very very clearly because I was in the same trap. I did once a hypnosis course with him, and he sees people who are overweight. They are mainly reacting to the urgency I need to eat now. And they only thinking it tastes good. Or if they feel the urgency, they even eat something, the so-called fast food, just to get with the pressure of the craving, the urgency. And the slim people, they think so much more, how will it feel an hour later in my body? What is a different way of questioning, is it really good for me? And then you can use the quadrant with the food. Is it urgent and important? Is this urgent but not important? So if it's not important and urgent, like most so-called food, because there's no really the nutrition in what you need, then you shouldn't do it. Because it's even the opposite. It's not only of value, it's mostly helping you to make you sick. We get the problem with the food. It's not so much neutral food. It's good or bad for you. There's with the money. If you spend money, there's no really a neutral way to spend money. It's gone. So is it gone and wasted? Or is it gone for a good investment? So good food is of your higher value. A good investment is for your higher value. So you can start thinking. And like in my past, when I hired people, I did the mistake, not checking for importance, for urgency. I felt pressure, this needs to be done. I felt pressure, I don't want to do that. So I hired people because of the inner pressure. And when I had them hired, relieved for a short time. And then it came back. Then came quadrant 1, crisis, important and urgent. Because if I'm not looking for employees, are they really of highest value? Are they really contributing to what is important? Only for my feeling of urgency, then I do a wrong decision anyway. But if you are not saving money, if you're not eating right, you will get a big crisis. So you could use this quadrants to make better decisions in any area of your life. And that's why this 5th core belief, I believe if we're thinking more in abundance, then I'm not in the need of taking something, eating something, because there's nothing else. Then, if I always question myself, is this of highest value for me? Is this person of highest value to the purpose of the company? Is this person of highest value for cooperation? Then you make different decisions. So what if politicians, if we who vote, we who elect politicians, if we start with this in mind, here is abundance, this is our core belief, consciousness makes it, consciousness makes laws, we are here for the best interest of humanity, we are here not limited. So politicians, everything what you do, this law, this discussion, is this for the highest value of the people? If we get this, if this is of the highest value, then we only discuss what is highest value. So if we all discuss what is highest value, What is the best education system for highest value? Not misusing people, really serving people. If everything what a company is doing, if this is of highest value for the clients, is this of highest value for the customers? We will get a totally different way of seeing the world, creating businesses and cooperations. Then we have competition for the best. And that is what win-win is really all about. Parties want to win, but in the best interest. So win-win needs, we both want to win and go together on the next level of consciousness to create for everybody the win-win. At least a possibility, because there's still the free will not to go for it, to stay behind. So if I come back to these 5 core beliefs, fundamental beliefs, and if it's a private relationship, it's a business, a service, what you want to do in the future. What if we are consciousness, and consciousness creates the brain, consciousness that decides where I jump on. That we are consciousness, we are not our body, we are not our thoughts, we are not our emotion. Consciousness can alter the emotions. Consciousness can decide what to think. Consciousness is creating the body. What can we do then best? What can help us to think better? And I believe artificial intelligence can help us to think better. Artificial intelligence can help us to control our emotions better in the way that we know we are not this. And artificial intelligence can help us also to create a better body. And it is just calculating what we should eat, calculating what kind of fitness training we are doing. Artificial intelligence will help us to be fit and to live longer and better, happier, but we decide. Our consciousness decides. That's why it's so important. You know your essence, what we call the essence, is the essential way is that you come closer to your true self. So when that is, when we understand then, we are not just made to live on planet Earth, so we have the whole space. What kind of decision will come then for you? Or your decision, how you support your kids, what kind of education you offer? Will you ever discuss with teachers who have limiting beliefs, which school you pick? With whom will you work? What kind of cooperations will you do? Will you go for? And when this is all true, what are you preparing? To hide? Your head in the sand? Or you say, wow, if there really is a possibility, and I needed to make this decision for myself, because now, just recently, I turned 71, so I needed to decide, hey, how do I want to live the next years? Just survive or prepare for the better? What if? In the Bible, it says we are made for 120 years. My breath should be with you 120 years. So what if I have another 50 years, or 49, 50 years? How do I prepare for that? And here comes the core belief. Can I be fit the next 50 years? What should I do then? How do I prepare? How do I want to see the world? And I want to see a world of win-win. That we all think more and more, what is of highest value for us? How can we live better? Because we all know there's so much better for us. And from now to then, it means to go out of the ordinary to create something extraordinary. And you can too. and we together for sure. So be assured the best is yet to come. Happy Winspiration. This was another episode of Winspiration, wisdom and information to support you getting out of illusions, false identifications, limiting beliefs. We all have the power and potential to be more, do more, have more, give more. Reality is what is possible in the universe, and the best is yet to come. If you want to dive deeper into possibilities of creating the extraordinary future, go to winspiration.global or to wolfgangsonnenburg.com. More information and some free downloads like the email program Dream Goals Reality or a copy of the book The Best Is Yet to Come can be found on the UK Health Radio website under the Listen on Demand and Presenters section. Join us again next week on the Winspiration Show for more wisdom and information to create your extraordinary future.